Module 10.2, Attack. So far, we have examined timbre by making some comments about the frequencies that make up a sound. This sort of categorization applies only to continuous or sustained sounds. As it turns out, there's much more to consider when discussing tone quality, or more specifically, what's making the sound. When we look at the waveform of a note, there are three main parts to the sound. They are the attack, sustain, and decay. The combination of the three parts is called the envelope of the sound. We refer to the beginning of a sound as its attack. The attack is the portion of the wave or waveform from the beginning of the sound to the point where it reaches maximum amplitude. Sustain refers to the part of the sound that remains steady over time. Some instruments, wind and bowed string instruments, can control the sustain by keeping air moving or by moving their bow. Other instruments have little or no sustain and go to the last part, the decay. That's the portion of the wave or waveform from the end of the sustain to where the sound stops. Wind instruments tend to have a very short decay, string instruments have a longer decay, and percussion instruments have a wide range of decay times. When a musician starts a note by striking, tonguing, bowing, plucking, or vocalizing, the start of the note has characteristics that are different from the sustained tone that follows. The attack of a sound is very important in affecting how we perceive the sound. Different instruments have different attacks. Here's the waveform of a marimba note. The attack is almost instantaneous. It takes about 3 milliseconds to reach its maximum, and then it decays very quickly. This is the characteristic of most percussion instruments, which are struck in order to be set into vibration. This is a piano note. It has a 19 millisecond attack time and is more gradual than the marimba. Here's a guitar waveform. It's similar to a piano. It's a plucked rather than struck string, and this takes 14 milliseconds to reach maximum. This is a violin waveform. This attack takes 200 milliseconds, much longer and more gradual than the instruments we've seen before. A trumpet note. The very first part of the note is 24 milliseconds, but the highlighted part is 225 milliseconds. Here's a flute note. The attack of the flute is 112 milliseconds long. As you can see and hear, all of these instruments have a different timbre, even though they were playing the same note. They also have different attacks. Now, take a listen here. What do you think this is? Does it sound like a guitar? It was a piano note with the attack of a guitar note. How about this? An oboe? Actually, it was an oboe attack followed by the sustain of a trumpet note. What's this? A buzzer? It's a trombone note with the attack removed. How about this? A violin? Nope, it's a piano with its attack changed. So you see, the attack plays a very important part in identifying the source of a sound. To review, the attack is the portion of a waveform from the beginning to the point where it reaches maximum amplitude. The sustain is the part of the sound that remains steady over time. The decay is the portion of the waveform from the end of the sustain to where the sound stops. The envelope is the overall shape of the waveform. The attack of a sound is very important in identifying the source of the sound.